This is the brand new Porsche Taycan Turbo GT. It has 1,100 horsepower and is even quicker than a Tesla Model S Plaid. But that's not the only awesome car that's just been revealed. This is the replacement for the legendary Dodge Charger. This is the hottest new Mercedes E-Class AMG. And this is a brand new V16 engine that's about to be fitted to a new Bugatti hypercar. But all of that is just the start, because Rivian, Audi and Volkswagen have also revealed some brand new cars, and I'm going to tell you everything about them in this video. The new Taycan Turbo GT is the most powerful Porsche road car ever made. In boost mode, you get 1,100 horsepower. That's 80 horsepower more than a Tesla Model S Plaid has. The standard Turbo GT accelerates from 0 to 60 miles an hour in 2.3 seconds. But the Weissach model managed to do the sprint in 2.2 seconds. But Porsche hasn't just given this new car loads of extra power, it's also retuned the active suspension with special GT settings. There are plenty of aerodynamic upgrades too, including a fixed rear wing that helps produce 220 kilograms of total downforce. But why does an electric car need downforce? After all, downforce equals drag equals reduced range. Well, Porsche is going for lap records with this new GT version of its flagship EV. The Turbo GT Weissach has already broken the Laguna Seca lap record for electric cars with a time of 1:27.87. That's quicker than a Tesla Model S Plaid's lap time. A prototype Taycan Turbo GT also lapped the Nürburgring in 7 minutes 7.55 seconds. That's over 17 seconds quicker than a Model S Plaid managed with the upgraded track pack. This all sounds great, but I can see some big problems with this new Porsche. I'm not talking about the bright purple paint, that's actually quite cool. I'm talking about the price. The Taycan Turbo GT costs £186,000. And if you go for the Weissach model, you don't even get any back seats. This makes sense in a proper stripped out track car like my own Porsche 911 GT3 RS. But having no back seats in a four-door car is absolute madness. What do you think though? Do you like this crazy new Taycan, or do you prefer a Model S Plaid? Let us know in the comments. Bugatti has killed the Chiron, and its iconic quad-turbo W16 engine is dead too. Don't worry though, because it's going to reveal a brand new hypercar very soon, with a brand new V16 engine. And here is what it sounds like. Bugatti actually hasn't revealed any power figures yet, but this new engine should beat the 1,500 horsepower you got from the Chiron's old 8-litre W16. Bugatti has confirmed that some of the new car's grunt will come from electric motors. Yes, this new V16 hypercar will be hybrid, and some of this technology will come from Bugatti's sister company, Rimac. In fact, Mattei Rimac, who is the CEO of both hypercar brands, has already teased this brand new Bugatti on his Instagram account.
Not yet. You'll have to wait a little bit longer.
You'll have to wait till June to see the car revealed in full, but make sure you subscribe to this channel so you're notified when I upload a video all about the brand new Bugatti hypercar as soon as that information drops. It will be incredible. Mercedes has just revealed the latest AMG version of the new Mercedes E-Class, the E53. Okay, so it's actually a hybrid, which is bound to upset some AMG purists, such as myself. But you can't argue with the fact it has 612 horsepower and does 0 to 60 miles an hour in 3.8 seconds. This car's hybrid system is very different from the one you get in the AMG C63. You see, the E53 has a 3-litre turbocharged straight-six engine instead of a 2-litre turbocharged 4-cylinder like in the C63. And the AMG E-Class's electric motor is mounted inside the gearbox instead of under the boot floor like in the C-Class. Mercedes has also beefed up the E-Class's four-wheel drive system for this new AMG model, and it's redesigned the suspension and fitted new bumpers. You also get new wheels, new trim, and you can choose from an E53 Saloon or an E53 Estate if you fancy bringing the dogs for a ride too. Mercedes hasn't confirmed how much this new car will cost, but you probably won't get any change from £100,000. Also, they haven't explained how much heavier it's going to be than the old E63 AMG Saloon. You know, the V8 without any batteries or hybrid tech. It may have the same power pretty much as that car, but I bet it's heavier. The old Dodge Charger was one of the wildest old-school performance cars you could buy, but an all-new Charger Daytona has just been revealed, and it's a very different animal. For starters, you can't get it with a V8 anymore. What? That's a bit like ordering a McDonald's quarter pounder without the beef patty. Apparently, Dodge says it wasn't allowed to sell muscle cars with Hemi V8s, which makes no sense, because Ford and Chevrolet are still putting V8s in the new Mustang and Corvette. But anyway, Dodge tried to make up for all this by giving the new Charger Daytona a twin-turbo, 3-litre, straight-six with 550 horsepower. This 6-pack model has 40 horsepower more than the twin-turbo straight-six you get in a BMW M3 competition, and that sounds like a pretty good recipe to me. But it's a far cry from the 707 horsepower you got in the old Charger Hellcat, and it's miles off the 1025 horsepower in the Challenger Demon 170. Speaking of which, Dodge has decided to ditch the Challenger completely for this new generation of muscle cars. It's been replaced by a new 2-door coupe version of the 4-door Charger Daytona. But the 2-door body and straight-six engine aren't the most shocking things about the new Charger. There's also a fully electric version on the way. This new model comes with dual motors, producing a combined 670 horsepower. And Dodge has tried to replicate the sound of an old supercharged V8 by giving this new car something called the Frazonic chambered exhaust. That sounds like something Elon Musk would fit to a SpaceX rocket. But it's actually just a sound synthesizer like the one you get in a Hyundai Ioniq 5N. Just fake noises played through the car. Not sure I like the sound of that. But there is one aspect of this new Dodge that I really like. They all come with four-wheel drive as standard. The old Challenger and Charger Hellcats were designed to give their best performance on proper drag racing strips, so they struggled to put their power down on unprepped surfaces. This new four-wheel drive Charger should have no trouble getting off the line. Dodge claims the new electric version will do 0 to 60 miles an hour in 3.3 seconds and complete the standing quarter mile in 11.5 seconds. Now that's only half a second slower than the quickest quarter mile time I've had from an 808 horsepower Dodge Demon. To see how a Dodge Demon compares with a Porsche 911 Turbo S in a drag race and the disadvantages of those cars when you race them on an unprepped surface, click on the pop-out banner appearing in the top right-hand corner of the screen. Rivian has revealed a new R2 SUV and a cool-looking R3 hatchback. Unlike the R1T and the R1S, which you can already buy in the US, these new cars will go on sale in Europe, but not until 2026. The R2 comes with single, double and triple motor options, and long-range cars should manage 300 miles on a full charge. That's about 30 miles less of what a Tesla Model Y long range is supposed to be able to do. Rivian hasn't said how much power each version has, but it confirmed the tri-motor R2 could do 0 to 60 miles an hour in less than 3 seconds. That means it beats a Tesla Model Y performance by half a second. Rivian hopes to steal another march on Tesla with the new R3, which is more like a jacked-up hatchback than a proper SUV. Expect a range of around 300 miles from long-range versions, and the quickest R3 should match the R2's 0 to 60 time of around 3 seconds. What's more, Rivian is putting its money where its mouth is with these new cars. It claims the R2 will cost just $45,000 when it goes on sale in the US, although you can bet it's going to cost more than £50,000 when it finally arrives in the UK. But Rivian won't just have competition from Tesla when it arrives in Europe, it'll also have to compete against huge Chinese brands such as BYD. If you've never heard of BYD, click on the pop-out banner or scan the QR code on your screen now to check out my in-depth review and drag race comparison between a BYD Seal and the new Tesla Model 3. Speaking of performance electric cars, this brand new Volkswagen might replace the Golf GTI and Golf R when everything has to be fully electric. It's called the ID3 GTX, and in many ways, it's VW's first proper electric hot hatch. The standard GTX produces 286 horsepower, but performance models have 326 horsepower. That's over 80 horsepower more than a new internal combustion engine Golf GTI, and 6 horsepower more than you get from a top-spec Golf R. In terms of raw performance, the ID3 GTX doesn't quite have the edge over the petrol-powered Golf R though. Still, Volkswagen say it'll do 0 to 60 miles an hour in 5.6 seconds. So it's not slow, and the instant torque from its electric motor means it will definitely feel punchy too. But my favourite thing about it is that it's rear-wheel drive, so hopefully you'll be able to drift it. I don't mean drifting with the help of some electronic trickery like in the Golf R, I mean proper rear-wheel drive drifting. I'll be sure to find out when I review this car soon. Finally though, we come to Audi, which has just shown off a facelifted A3 hatchback. It even revealed a new jacked-up all-street version. Exciting, right? No, not really. I'm much more interested in the new Audi RS5, which is also coming soon. The biggest news about this car is that it's actually going to be an estate. You can see the boxy rear end of it in these spy shots. But why on earth is the RS5 morphing into a practical wagon when we've already got the RS4? Well, it's because Audi is completely overhauling its car names. Electric cars like the new Q6 will get even-numbered names, and all petrol, diesel and hybrid cars will use odd numbers. This means the next A4 will be an electric car, and the petrol and hybrid power version will be the A5, even though both of them will come as saloons and estates. Audi has been testing the A5 and RS5 prototypes for a few months now, and here's an exclusive image that shows what the RS5 could look like. This new car will probably come with a similar engine and hybrid system to the latest Porsche Cayenne SE hybrid. That means you should get a 3-litre turbocharged V6 petrol engine and an electric motor for a combined 520 horsepower. That's 70 horsepower more than in the current RS4 competition, and it's 10 horsepower more than you get from the BMW M3 Touring competition. However, we'll find out exactly how these cars compare when Audi reveals the new RS5, which is the RS4 replacement, most likely next year. I hope you all enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a like. Let me know what you think of it in the comments below. If you want to watch some more videos, I've picked a couple out for you there I think you'll like. Just click on those windows to watch them. Or if you haven't done so already, make sure you subscribe to this channel. You can do that just by hitting the Carwow logo there. Simple.